everybody, it's Melanie. Welcome to my new YouTube channel, Shivering Shimmy. And today I just want to do an introduction to myself. So I'm going to do a few random facts, along with some specific questions asked by some of my friends and family. And the reason why I wanted to start this vlog is because I want to stay in touch with my international friends and family that I have all around the world. So there are quite a few random facts. Let's get into these. We'll go through them a little bit faster and then I'll slow down for the specific questions asked. So number one, I'm a cat person. I like dogs, but I prefer cats. Number two, I lived in Japan for 4 years. You'll probably be hearing a lot about my adventures there. 3, I like eating many different kinds of food. Mexican, Chinese, Japanese, even American. But number 4, I don't like chocolate. I know that's kind of strange for a girl, but not a fan. Number 5, I am not a morning person. Never have been, never will be. 6, I am a tribal fusion style belly dancer. Number 7, I have visited South Korea, Australia, Spain, Hong Kong, and Macau, along with living in Japan. Number 8, I love ice cream. Pretty much any ice cream, well, except for chocolate. Number 9, I don't like the color pink, and number 10, I don't like the color gold. Nothing against people who like these colors, they're just really not my personal style, so you probably won't really see me wear those very much, if at all. Number 11, I like to cook. Number 12, I'm married. 13, one of my biggest pet peeves is being lied to, so please don't lie to me if you want to be my friend. Number 14, I used to teach English to foreigners, first in Japan at a company called ECC, and then here in America at a company called FLS. 15, Halloween is my absolute favorite holiday. Love it, love dressing up, love being somebody else for a day. 16, I like to crochet and make jewelry. Those are just a couple of my hobbies. 17, I like to cosplay and make my own costumes. Making your own costumes half the fun. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend it. 18, Bones, The Walking Dead, and Doctor Who are some of my very favorite TV shows right now. And 19, I love Tim Burton movies. 20, my ears are pierced 5 times on each side. I don't know if you can see that. And 21, I wear toe rings, and I've worn those since I was a freshman in high school. No, I won't tell you how long ago that was. Don't ask. 22, I hate running and lifting weights, but it's healthy, so I make myself do it anyway. 23, I do like belly dancing, Zumba, and hip hop. Those are so much fun. 24, I hate the smell of fresh cut grass. My whole family loves it. I don't know if this is a southern thing, but I just can't stand it. Am I the only person who doesn't like the smell of fresh cut grass? Let me know. My favorite flowers are stargazer lilies. They smell amazing. 26, the house that I grew up in is haunted. And I'm going to be doing a paranormal series on this channel, so if you're into the paranormal, make sure to check that out later. I'll tell you about my experiences in that house and some experiences since then in other places. I'm a fan of both Star Wars and Star Trek. Pretty much I'm a big nerd, but that's okay today. 28, I am allergic to wasabi, so unfortunately no sushi for me. 29, I was born in Tennessee. And 30, I love to read. I read all the time. 31, I don't like watching sports. For me, watching is very, very boring. If you see me in the audience, it's because I'm there for moral support or as the cheerleading section to support you or whoever is playing at that time. And yes, I do have all of these written down on my little iPad here because there's quite a few of them, and I will probably forget one or two if I don't write them down. 32, I played flute and piccolo in my high school marching and concert bands. 33, I have a bachelor's degree and a master's degree, bachelor's from TTU and a master's from ETSU. 35, even though I am a tribal fusion dancer, I do not have any tattoos. Kind of chicken. Haven't been brave enough to get one yet. 36, I have one biological sister, but no biological brothers. 37, I'm barely 5 feet 3 inches tall, even though my husband claims I'm 5'2". I'm right. 38, I usually only wear makeup for very special occasions, such as doing a performance, a dance performance, or if I'm going to a special party. Otherwise, this is what you get. Chapstick, a little moisturizer, that's about it. 39, I'm a fan of Hello Kitty. And 40, I have lots of friends and family, because family is not just blood. Family is what you make all around the world. And this, I'm hoping this will increase my friends and family. So if you want to be a member of that circle of international friends and family, hit the like button and subscribe. So moving on to our specific questions, we'll start with Charlie. Hello, big brother. And Charlie asks, what are some of your favorite memories from traveling? And my favorite memories all have to do with people that I met. For example, dancing with Liz at level 1 in Shinsabashi or on the banks of the Yodagawa River. Having pictures done, geisha pictures, with Liz and Debbie in Kyoto. Going to ninja restaurants and on scavenger hunts and Halloween bowling with Big Brother Charlie and other friends. Running away from zombies with Chris and Naoko at USJ. The people made my travels so worth it. It's all about you guys. Miss you guys. Charlie also asks, what kind of only me moments have you had while traveling? And the biggest only me moment I had was when I was in Japan. I was on the train by myself for the first time, going to my first day of English teaching in Katsura, and I barely speak any Japanese. Our schools were full English immersion. We weren't allowed to use any Japanese at all. And I was really, really nervous. So sure enough, the train that I got on stopped before Katsura, and it was the end of the line. And I know I just had this panicked look on my face because this very nice Japanese gentleman in a business suit looks at me and he goes, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I have to go to Katsura." And he's like, "Katsura?" And I'm like, "Yes, I have to go to Katsura." And he's like, "Okay, take this train." And he pointed the right track out to me, and I was like, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And he's like, why are you going to Katsura? And I was like, "I'm an English teacher, it's my first day, I'm really nervous." And he's like, "Oh, where do you teach English?" And I said, "ECC." And he's like, "Oh, ECC taught me English." And I was like, only me. Only my job could save my job. So that was my biggest only me moment. Moving on to Stephanie. Stephanie asks, if you could time travel, what time in history would you visit and why? Honestly, I would rather go to the future than the past. However, if I had to choose a time in the past, I think I would pick the Roaring 20s, because it was a time when women were coming into their own. They were breaking the bonds of fashion, they were pushing the boundaries, they were doing things that ladies weren't supposed to do. And it just seems like such an exciting time. I think I'd like to see and experience that. Hector, number 43, asks, what's your favorite color and why? And this is a really easy one, Hector. Blue. The reason why my favorite color is blue is because every summer when I was young, I would visit my grandparents, my mom's parents, in Charleston, South Carolina, and they lived on Folly Beach. And my mama and I would wake up, go to the beach, we would come home for lunch, take a nap, or maybe walk to town and get a popsicle, and then we were back on the beach until dinner and bedtime. Such beautiful, fond memories of her and that time with her. and the water was such an incredible blue. So I always am reminded of her in that time, because when I see that color, because of the ocean. Cheyenne asks, at what moment in time do you believe to be your happiest, your angriest, and your saddest? Happiest, other than getting married, because that's kind of a given for most people. When they get married, they're usually pretty happy. Was learning that I got to travel to Japan. I was so excited. It's time for me to have an adventure. I had visited Japan before, but just, kind of as a vacation type thing. But getting to live there was something totally different. None of my family has really ever done this or experienced this. So it was something all of my own. I got to do this. Don't get me wrong, it was somewhat terrifying moving to a new country where you don't know all of the language or all of the rules, but it was also very, very exciting, and it made me very happy. My angriest moment is kind of hard to pinpoint because I'm very laid back. I'm very hard to make angry, but I can say that probably all of my angriest moments do revolve around people lying to me. So just don't lie to me. We can probably work out whatever it is, and everything should be okay. My saddest moment revolved around, other than the loss of friends or family, again, that's kind of a given, revolved around learning that I could not live out the rest of my life in Japan. I was there for 4 years, and it became home. And to learn that I couldn't retire and stay there at some point in the future was just heartbreaking. So that was probably my saddest moment. Timothy asks, what was your biggest culture shock experience while traveling? And one of my biggest culture shocks in Japan was women's clothing. In America, we have this idea that you have to dress your age. You're too old for that, or you're too young for that, you can't wear that. But in Japan, they don't really have this idea. I saw women in their 30s or 40s wearing the same thing that college women were wearing, and they were comfortable with it, and they liked it. And I loved that idea of dressing for yourself. Not dressing for society, not dressing for beauty necessarily, not having to dress for safety, but wearing what you're comfortable with. And that idea was really, really appealing, even though it was a shock at first. Sorry about the beeps. That was my husband's watch. He is a watch collector, and it beeps at 5 o'clock every day. So that's my fault for the timing. 46 Don asks, are you happy in your new apartment? And we are getting there. We moved from Japan back to Tennessee and then to North Carolina when my husband got a job here. It's not quite finished yet. We still have some things that we would like to do to make it more us, to bring our personalities into it. We're just waiting on the money to do those things. 47, Solomon asks, being a shy person, how did you manage to be a teacher and be more interactive, especially with other cultures? And this goes back to TTU. When I was there, I was an education major, and I had to take a speech class, and I was always so nervous. And one day I just realized, this is your life. You're going to have to stand up in front of people, you're going to have to deliver information, you're going to have to talk to people. Get over it. Just stop being nervous. And it kind of really worked. At that point, the nerves went away. Don't get me wrong, I'm not totally outgoing, but I'm a lot better than I used to be. 48, she asks, what's almost always guaranteed to make you smile, even when things are not so rosy? And there's this song that the Muppets did a really long time ago, and the name of the song is Mana Mana. And whenever someone is treating me badly or talking down to me, or if I'm in a bad mood, I just think of that song and I get a smile on my face. And if someone is talking down to me or reprimanding me for something, and I think of that song, I have to actually keep the smile off of my face, so that I don't make the situation worse. Michelle asks, when did you know that you wanted to do belly dancing? And there's not really one time that I'm like, oh, I'm going to be a belly dancer. When I was younger, I did tap, jazz, and ballet, and I really loved dancing, but was kind of doing too much because I was also doing a swim team and softball, and my mom's like, pick one, and then it kind of got picked for me that it was going to be softball. So I didn't get to dance for a long time, and then when I got to college, there were always belly dancing classes being offered, but somehow they were always at the same time I was having a regular class. So when I got out of college and joined a local gym in Knoxville, Tennessee, there was a belly dancing class. I said, that's it. I'm taking it. I'm going to try it, and absolutely fell in love with it. Hi, Sally. This is all your fault. Sally was my belly dancing teacher at that gym, and love her to death. Yuji, last one, asks, what kind of music do you listen to when you are belly dancing? I have very eclectic taste. I do dance to some Arabic music, but I always try to get it translated. I don't want to offend anyone. It's not my reason for dancing. Dancing is a happy thing. It's not supposed to be an offensive thing. But I also do some American music, some Japanese music. As long as the rhythm's right, I can pretty much belly dance to it. So guys, I hope you like this introduction video. Please, again, if you want to join my circle of international friends and family, hit the like button down below and subscribe. Also, in the description box, I will post a link to my Facebook page, and it is also Shivering Shimmy at Facebook. So it was nice to get to know all of you guys, and I will see you later. Bye!